What's up, historians and fellow ranters? As a new year looms upon us, we're looking back at the last year of MTG Arena. Let's see what the community remembers and what we remember about historic 2021. In this, I'm thankful for this and not so thankful for that episode of Mana Rant. But first, I'm Hoshi, the Elder Millennial, and the New Year Ranter, and you are listening to the Mana Rant podcast, where, as always, I'm joined by a man who, on our last episode, stated that he thinks eggnog tastes like cum. We have DrunkenDork.
No, that did. Let me pull this a little closer. That is wrong. That is a false statement.
Can't explain. No. DrunkenDork.
I just simply said that eggnog, it just reminds me of cum. It kind of looks a little cummy.
Like
know?
the taste and flavor and consistency.
No.
Right?
I have felt it in my hands many times, you know. I have masturbated a lot.
Oh, God. No. This and the viewership is dropping dramatically.
Like at least 5 times a day. Anything less is amateur numbers. Amateur numbers, all right?
Jesus. This is what happens when you start drinking heavily before the show.
Yeah.
We just recorded the last show of Mana Rant, and for the holidays. So we are we might be a little warning, we might be a little bit more inebriated in this show than usual. Well, you know, if you can stick it out, thank you for joining us. We are the Mana Dorks, and this is Mana Rant, where we talk about everything in historic, in arena, and you know that includes alchemy now as well.
It does.
Thank you for joining us. Our show moves through the full segments of Magic with the Untap, Upkeep, main phase 1, main phase 2, all that stuff, and we have a full breakdown in the description if you want to like hop around in the show notes and see what we're talking about. But the main topics tonight are going to be us looking back at this last year of historic in 2021. So it's going
to be exciting. Yeah. And we just to let everyone know, we were being very safe. We both desperately chugged 2 bottles of water each between podcasts. So,
drink.
It's fine. The alcohol just goes completely out of your system after you chug the second one. Right?
It's true. It's science, actually.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can drive after. It's just
no. I think that one might be wrong. That one I'm not so sure of. That one might be pseudoscience, but the other one, science. Yeah.
Science. Okay. Cool.
and with that, we're gonna just move straight into the first segment of our show, which is the Untap phase.
Untap.
And Untap's where we're going to be drinking more, because this is where we untap what we're going to drink during the show. I know. So let's start it off, Drunken. What are you going to be having tonight?
I got beer.
You're pointing
from my kegerator
to something no one can see.
So basically, the last episode that we did about 30 minutes ago, I had a cinnamon dolce. And it tasted like absolute garbage because it was warm. And who would have known that nitro cinnamon stout would taste terrible warm? But
I mean, I would have known that probably, but
you're the only one. You're the exception. You're the outlier here.
That's true. I that's because when my eyes start like looking in opposite directions, I can see the future. You know, when they start, I'm
That's
a
not true.
savant like that. I think it's true. Well, as for me, for the new year, this is one that I love to break and do. This is
Eagle Rare.
Eagle Rare. This is a really good bottle of bourbon. They're very hard to find, but luckily I have a kind of a hookup since I'm a veteran. I can go to like the the package store on base, and I sign up on a list, and every once in a while they get these, and like these go for a lot, but they sell them for cost there. It's awesome. I love it. It's if you've ever heard of Buffalo Trace and all those Blantons, they're very like high end bourbons. They're just really hard to get a hold of, and so I am gonna enjoy this tonight. It's probably my favorite bourbon that exists. So cheers, Drunken.
Cheers. And cheers to everyone watching, of course.
Of course.
Or listening.
Listening, yeah. And unfortunately we're not streaming tonight. We always stream, but we decided not to for this second one because we were gonna take a long break. So I hope all you guys had a good holiday, and cheers to everybody. With that, we will go into our upkeep phase. Upkeep, get ya upkeep. And our upkeep phase is our Reddit rant. And Reddit rant is where we look to the internet for people bitching, screaming, or just straight ranting craziness about.
This is a good one. This is a good one.
This is a great way to start off the year, and we're going to one of the best places to find, rants, and that is Reddit. And this is Magic the Circle Jerkery. It's Magic the Circle Jerking subreddit. And oh boy, here we go. We got one from Turtlebox here. And he starts off strong with, "These Pioneer fanatics will literally eat their own dick if it means Pioneer can have its 5 minutes of fame on Arena, only for them to abandon it to go play kitchen tabletop EDH once again. Holy shit."
I love this rant. This is literally a drunken dork rant if I have ever seen one. My only rants are when I am completely hammered, and this is a completely hammered rant. I can only imagine that Turtlebox fucking whatever the hell his name is hosted this like after 5 whiskey fucking eggnogs or whatever.
He started off with
whiskey cum shots.
I corrected his grammar error too, because he said "this Pioneer fanatics," which that's wrong. And so so the grammar error is strong indication of some drinks going down before that. Oh man, or he was pissed. He got into some Pioneer talk. Dude, people do bitch a lot about like Pioneer getting fucked over, so literally eat their own dicks.
I mean, we'll have more to say about Pioneer in the later part of this episode, but yes.
Yeah, this kind of plays right into it. If Pioneer can have its 5 minutes of fame.
The 3 comments are great, though. The first one...
I couldn't even get into... Oh, there's only 3.
There's only 3, yeah. And it says, the first one is, Chad Mono Green Elf Ball historic players who play only... play to complete quest to play draft stand-up.
Yes.
What? So
I don't know. Hello. Yeah.
And then the next one's hello, and then we play human ball, but yeah. So
what?
Who knows, man? I love this, and I believe what happened here was this family got drunk together, and then this guy made the post, and he's like, "Hey, bro, look what I made." And then his bro, made this whole post, and then their sister made hello, and then their mom said, "We play human ball," but yeah, and then they all had sex together.
God. Oh man. That might be my favorite post of the year. There's been some good ones, but that one, the second, The second I read it, man, I was so happy.
It's pretty good. No, it is really funny though.
There has been so much Pioneer bitching that I could give two fucks about. So maybe it rang more true with me than most. Well, anyways, if you find anyone else who's willing to eat their own dick for their format, please send it our way. And because obviously we love to read this stuff. And
absolutely.
With that, let's get into our draw phase. Let's draw. All right, so draw is usually where we get into like MTG news or what we've been playing this week. But we literally just talked about what we were playing this week on the last podcast, and we're there now. So we haven't played anything else since then. Yeah. So Drunken, I think what we were going to talk about is how we got to this topic that we're going against, because you made some posts, right?
Yeah. Do you want to do it in the draw phase?
Yeah, let's just do it here.
Okay, yeah, basically, so what I did is I reached out to both the Mana Rant Discord and the Historic subreddit to see what they thought was the best of 2021, and that's how I presented the post. And after running the numbers, I came up with what I had. So I had a lot of different things, like I had multiple of like non-creatures, multiple creatures, but like I putting them together, like most of the people who voted on their cards voted on the ones that I chose, and the ones that I put two of in is because there was like an even amount. Sure. And none of the Mana Rant people like me, Hoshi, or Apollo had any influence on this. So this is all the community right here.
Awesome, man. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I love it because, I mean, I feel like we're weird and we pick things that are,
I think you specifically are the weird one. Well, you and Apollo is just out of the fucking loop. I asked Apollo, so I'm going to go on a side rant right here.
Yeah, please
I asked Apollo, it's like, all right, I asked both of you, what was your favorite of 2021? And Apollo just threw out a whole bunch of stuff. He's like, or what was your least favorite? I said, he's like, Oko, Uro, fucking the cat oven. I was like, dude, none of these things were from 2021. What are you doing right now? He's like, Oh, yeah, you did say that, didn't you? Okay, well, Oko, Uro, the cat oven. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God, dude.
Man, he is a special friend, isn't he?
He absolutely is. We're all a little special in our own way.
That is true. I love Apollo. Yeah. He adds a special spice to the Mana Rant, the Mana Dorks. It wouldn't be us without that lovable idiot. All right, well, let's just get right into it then. Let's look at what the community thought about this last year and their best stuff. Or did you have anything else?
Let's go into main phase 1.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go into main phase 1.
Yeah.
Main phase 1.
All right, so here we are. And in main phase 1, we're going over the best things that we like. So this is our what the community has been thankful for over this last year, 2021, in Historic. So this is just encompassing the sets that came out in the last year. We're not talking about older stuff because obviously there is some really good stuff that's come out a while ago, right? Like Eldraine and all that stuff was insane, right? So we're not talking about that. If you're like, hey, what about this thing, like Apollo did? It's not. We're just talking about the recent stuff. All right, so let's hop into the first subject, the first thing that you asked the community what they wanted to know, and that was what was the best non-creature card of 2021?
So the best non-creature card of 2021, it was kind of unclear. It was a mix of 3 cards.
Yeah. And
those 3 cards were Brainstorm, Expressive Iteration, and Faithless Salvaging. It should have been Faithless Looting. Sorry.
Okay.
I put the wrong card.
I was like, what? I've seen that card played, but It's not nearly as good as looting.
That is all my. Sorry, I made these slides, everyone. That is my bad. It should have been Faithless Looting.
Okay.
So Brainstorm, Expressive Iteration, and Faithless Looting.
Yeah.
Those are the 3 best cards to hit this year, according to the community. And I honestly, I can't agree more. Like, those are probably the 3 most powerful cards.
Absolutely.
And we're going to see that throughout the entire thing. What do you think, Hoshi? Sorry.
Absolutely. The crazy one is, Brainstorm was like, I'm glad to see it go, mainly for the fact is that it slowed the game down way too much. People take a long time on like Brainstorm to like look at where they're going to put things back and everything. And it's like, it's in a deck that already is doing so much that I really hate playing against it. So other than that, I don't think it's like the most powerful card to exist because we don't have like the full means to take advantage of it with like shock lands and stuff in our format. You know, if we had shock lands, it would be, this card would have been insane. But I'm glad it's gone. Still very powerful, but more annoying than anything.
You mean fetch lands? Lands.
It would have been. Yeah, fetch lands. That's what I meant. Sorry.
Yeah,
it would have been way more powerful with that. Expressive Iteration, I think, is the strongest out of these, though. This card, I see it all the time, and there's a reason that you see it all the time. It's so good. You get so much advantage out of it for the cost that you have. It allows you to like look through these top couple cards and allows you to make decisions that are very powerful. This should have been a rare. You know, I feel like this easily should have been a rare or mythic.
You know, in paper, I think this is like a $5 to $10 card.
I don't doubt it.
An uncommon a recent uncommon, a $5 to $10 card.
Yeah, well,
Crazy.
I mean, in that case, luckily it's not a rare because then it would have been like, you know, a $20, $30 card at that point. And then Faithless Looting is just fantastic. I love Faithless Looting. I think it's
I really blew it here.
Yeah, it is definitely not Faithless Salvaging. In classic DrunkenDork format, you screwed up something. The cards. No, but Faithless Salvaging is garbage. Faithless Looting is fantastic though, and you know, it's one of those cards that's on the borderline of being too powerful. It's banned in other formats because of just like how good it is. And I'm glad it's not banned, but I can definitely see why like some people maybe do want it banned because it's insanely powerful. But what I really like is that it enables jank strategies because I'm a jank player at heart. So
absolutely,
I love it. It throws so much into the graveyard. Unfortunately, that does help like really strong decks right now, like you know,
we'll go over it later.
Yeah. Exactly. So what do you think?
What do you think the next card that is? So there was another card that was a very close one as well. What do you think it is that the community chose?
I would think maybe Doomscar. Doomscar was such a great board.
No one chose Doomscar.
What the fuck? Like, that's insane to me because it enabled, like, especially in historic, control decks to actually do anything. Right? If there was
think of cards that got banned.
Oh, the Time Warp or whatever.
No.
No. Oh fuck the. God damn it! It couldn't have been.
Yep. Memory Lapse.
Oh god damn yeah, absolutely. Memory Lapse was. I hated that card so much. I hated that way worse than Brainstorm. It was such an aggravating card to play against. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the Time Walk basically.
Basically,
right? That's what everyone called it.
The
time.
2-mana Time Walk.
Yeah. And so all these cards have something very similar. Mm-hmm. They go in Is It, right?
Oh,
or America, right? Jeskai.
Yeah.
So we'll see that later. But yeah, I think all these cards are really powerful and I understand exactly why people chose them. Mm-hmm. And another thing is all of them were from the same set.
Yep. Yeah, the Strixhaven set. Well, the Brainstorm and Faithless Looting were specifically from the historical or the archive or whatever. Where Expressive Iteration is the only one that was actually from the core set of Strixhaven. So, yeah. But yeah, they're all from basically Strixhaven, which is very telling about what we're gonna see in the for the rest of this. All right, so you ready to get in the next one?
Let's do it.
All right, so the next thing that we got, the best of 21 creature cards. So what do we got here for creatures?
So we had a mix of Esper Sentinel and DRC, better known as Dragon Rage Channeler.
Yeah.
Dragon Rage Channeler being the more popular one, but the fact that I feel like a lot of people also agreed on Esper Sentinel, it'd be unfair to not include it.
Yeah.
Specifically, Jacavio in our Discord, he chose this. A lot of people chose it.
Yeah.
S'mores and Bacon chose Dragon Rage Channeler. A lot of people chose Dragon Rage Channeler.
Oh, yeah.
Both very popular cards. What do you think of these two cards?
Dude, I mean, solid picks. In historic,
Yeah.
in historic,
Yeah.
we're seeing that, like, one drops are really, like, in these fast formats, anything that's a powerful one drop that can utility and do things that help you out a lot. Like, man, both of these are just so good for this. And you know what's really funny is both of these work really well against each other. Or Esper Sentinel works really well against Dragon Rage Channeler decks because they're typically casting a bunch of stuff, you know? So,
yeah.
So like, just seeing these two side by side is like, yeah, these are very good competitors against each other. I've played Esper Sentinel plenty of times against Dragon Rage Channeler. They're both they're good cards, and they were both like just massive additions to historic. And you know what set they're both from as well, right?
Yeah, that's ironically J21, right?
Yeah. So it was the Historic Horizons set, I believe.
Yeah.
That we got, which
Jumpstart 21.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Which way they called Historic Horizons. Sorry, I've never heard it with that term that you just called it. What did you call it? J21? JP?
Yeah, that's just like a abbreviated term, just Strixhaven is STX.
Yeah, okay, good, nice. Well, you are way more technical than I am, I guess. But these came from initially came from Modern Horizons 2. So both of these cards, Modern Horizons, right? We got modern level power in historic, and
they're really good cards.
Yeah, they're.
And I think when we were doing the spoilers, we're like, hands down, broken cards.
Yeah, pretty much. These are gonna be seen a lot, and they were, and they're the best.
Yeah.
And you know what? Luckily, they don't need to be nerfed. I don't think. And I don't think they don't need to be banned. They're good, strong cards that we have.
Absolutely agree.
Yeah, I like them, and I'm glad that they're here to stay. And no one seems to be upset about them. So, all right, let's go to the next thing. And for the best of 2021, the best deck that exists in the historic format. What do we got?
I really dropped the ball here. Here we are with Faithless salvaging again. So basically, sorry, I took over.
No,
you didn't say anything.
Perfect timing.
Okay, so Arclight Phoenix X. And like I said, we had no influence in this.
Yeah.
But I can't agree more. This deck had the most fuel to like power this forward.
Mm-hmm.
It may not be the absolute best deck of 2021, but like it had the most fuel going forward out of 21. We had things like, at one point we had Brainstorm, at one point we had Memory Lapse. We still have Faithless Looting.
Mm-hmm.
We have DRC.
Yeah.
We have What was the blue-red spell we said earlier?
The Expressive Iteration.
Expressive Iteration. Mm-hmm. This deck is on fucking fire.
It is.
Out of 2021, I think this is hands down. This wins. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you know what's funny about this deck is it has existed in so many different iterations to say of this.
Look at you!
I know, man, my vocabulary is amazing. But the Phoenix deck, right? It's just like it's been around for so long, and just people just keep making it work in different ways, and then altering it to fit like new formats and stuff. And we've talked about Arc like Phoenix before. It is a safe craft. to make
it is.
to make this card, because it's a really good card, and it fits into a lot of different play styles to Phoenix, to being able to get it to come back. And just the more tools that we get, the more solid of a deck it becomes. And every time I play against a deck that's playing Phoenix, I'm always so surprised on how much they're able to do during one turn, how they're able to throw the exact things that they need into the the graveyard every turn. It's so well built now that something that was kind of very janky before has become like a very honed deck now. And I think this is solid, and there's a lot of people that really love this archetype as well, so it makes sense. I agree. This would not be my favorite deck of 2021, but I could totally see how a lot of people do love this.
Absolutely not my favorite deck of 2021, but I do think this had the most pieces added to it of any deck of 2021.
Absolutely. It got all the tools. It got all the fun stuff for it.
Yeah, it got them all. It got some taken away, and it's still powerful.
It's true.
So it's...
Brainstorm was nuts in this deck.
Absolutely, good.
Yeah. Brainstorm really made this deck absolutely busted. All right, I think that's. Do you got anything else to say about the best deck?
Let's move it on.
All right, cool. So next, for our fourth topic, we have the best set of 2021, the one that had the most impact in Historic, in the best kind of way. And so, what set was that, Drunken?
That was Strixhaven, Mystical Archive.
Yeah,
and
no doubt.
We talked about all the cards so far, and it seems like that would be the best set. What do you think about this before I say my piece?
You know what? Like when Strixhaven came out, like it was the Harry Potter ripoff set that we were gonna get. And
absolutely, yeah.
Out of a lot of sets that we got, I was not anticipating this to be a banger set. I was like, oh, this is gonna be stupid. This is going to be them trying to be, I know, but and the main set was whatever. There were some good cards in there. We got a lot of really good cards out of that set. And then they did the archive, and the archive is what made this Strixhaven absolutely insane. There's so many cards got banned out of the archive, or caused other cards to get banned, from the archive set. So I totally agree. This was just the set, like when it came out, and there was also controversy around this set, but like it just had so much of a crazy impact on our format, and so much stuff was changing constantly because of this set, and it really made things interesting. And as podcasters, we like, how could we not think that this was the best set? Because it just gave us so much to talk about, so much fuel, so much fun to be interested in the set. So what did you think, Drunken, about Strixhaven?
So definitely, I think it was probably the strongest set to hit Historic this year. But I will say though, it isn't my favorite. Yeah. J21 is my absolute favorite set to hit Historic ever.
I agree.
Because it added a lot of different archetypes that we didn't have.
Absolutely.
In the format, right?
Yeah. No, sorry, go on.
But Strixhaven, without a doubt, the most powerful thing to hit Historic, period.
Yes, absolutely.
So the community got it right. I asked them, that's exactly what I asked in the Reddit and the Discord was, if you're not part of our Discord, please join. What is your favorite? What is the most powerful? Not your favorite. What was the most powerful thing to hit Historic in 2021?
Yeah,
and they got it right.
Yeah, exactly. Because Eldraine is probably over this for sure. But in 2021, I think absolutely, hands down, this was a banger of a normal set that came out. But I totally agree with you. The Historic Horizons Jumpstart set was by far my favorite to come out because it just had so much fun stuff in it, and it enabled so many more different decks. But this deck made tournament winners is what came out of Strixhaven. This one made tournament decks, and it really enabled a lot of insane broken things that needed to be solved immediately. So yeah, I can see why people like this one. And people love powerful things in Magic. Like I'm a jank player, so sometimes I don't like that stuff as much, but I know that people really do love busting cards and pushing Magic to the limit of what it's possible of, which is why people like Eternal formats, which is, this is our Eternal format of Arena. So I get it. I totally get why people like this one.
So let's look at what we got out of it. We got Mizzix's Mastery, right?
Yeah, so good.
Okay, which is the deck on its own.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
We got the Phoenix deck, which we already had, but it just made it incredibly powerful.
Mm-hmm.
We got Jeskai.
So we got Faithless Looting. We got Brainstorm. We got Time Walk or Time Warp.
We got what was the other one? The Pact.
The Demonic Pact one. Yeah.
Demonic Pact deck. Oh, this set was just insane. We had a deck in there that wins on turn 2 that isn't as janky as Tipple's Trickery.
Yeah.
That just won. Like if it went off, it won. Was no...
Demonic Pact was way crazier than Tipple's Trickery. It demanded like an immediate banning on it because it was almost impossible to beat that deck. It was so good, packed full of removal. It always got the pact and then it just won. Like it got Thassa's Oracle banned immediately, which Thassa's
that
Oracle
card needed to be banned.
It was a problem card. Yeah, it was a problem card. Which is, it's good that it went, because Demonic Pact really, like, what happened? They didn't ban Demonic Pact, and have you seen it since then? No, it was really Thassa's Oracle that made it crazy, but it was insane that happened, like so much craziness happened out of that set.
Yeah.
Oh man. I love it. I love the turmoil that comes with stuff like this. I mean, I don't like seeing cards get banned, but I mean, when they do crazy stuff, it's at least interesting, All right.
Absolutely.
Let's move on to the last thing that we are thankful for in this one, and this one is ours, right? This is from us and our Discord community, and this is 2021 Mana Rant Discord favorites and ours. Yeah, so it's gonna be the favorite card that it's not the best card. It's the card that is dearest to our hearts that came out this last year. The ones that we love the most. So Drunken, which ones are we really into this last year?
All right. So I reached out to the community once again, and the best of what I got, I reached out to both Reddit and our Discord. But I really only included our Discord people, community members. So if you're not part of our Discord, please join. And these were the cards we got. And we had actually a lot of shared cards here. And so the first one I'm going to say is Gutmorn Pact-Bound Servant. Mm-hmm. And this was an odd one. I totally overlooked this card when we were doing our spoilers of Alchemy. And this one was chosen by S'mores and Bacon.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think of this card?
I think it's totally right up his alley. He is a total discard player. Like, his avatar is of Tiny Bones. So this totally seems like, his favorite kind of card. And it's very strong. This is a recent card that we just got from the Alchemy set. And it's powerful. It's a legendary demon that, whenever you discard something, your opponent, everybody has to discard. And when they do, the opponent gets a copy of that card that's discarded. So it's super spicy. I really like the flavor of this card. What do you think about it, Drunken?
I think it's cool, yeah. I definitely wouldn't have picked it as my favorite, but I understand why you picked it.
Yeah.
And it's mostly because we didn't get 8-rack. All right, we need that 8-rack. All right, we need that in our format.
Oh, do we? Maybe. Yeah, I could. I mean, insane, but why not?
And then, so the next card's going to be Sterling Grove. And this was chosen by both Jacavio and me. Jacavio chose 2 cards, but I just decided to go with this one to make it a little easier on editing.
Sure.
Sterling Grove, I can't, like, this is my personal favorite card to hit this year.
Yeah.
It's cards like this and like what we're about to say after this, which make Historic such a fun format, because this brought a whole new archetype to Historic, which is my favorite archetype, which is Enchantment Prism.
Yep.
I love it. And we didn't have it before. We had it a little bit, but it was janky as fuck.
Well, we did, but then everyone made fun of me for playing it.
Well, no, it was there. It just wasn't great. And when we had something like Sterling Grove to protect the rest of the pieces, 2 Sterling Groves protects everything, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I love this deck. I still play it, frequently. I love this card. It's great.
Yeah. It just really added something fun, I think, to our format. And then why don't we go for you to the next one?
So this is my favorite card to enter Historic.
Not just yours, though.
Yeah. Oh, it's not. Okay. Other people pick this too. That's good to hear, because I don't know what your metrics were like. I just answered your questions for this. And the first Sliver. And, this one, because this is the leader of it, but just the slivers in general that came in, Cloud Rider or Cloud Shredder and all of them. I'm so happy that they're in this format now, because they're one of the first decks that I really fell in love with as far as like Commander came, to where like I really felt like this is my tribe kind of, in Magic. So, I love Arena, and having Slivers finally be in Arena, and not just Arena, in the format that I love, Historic, really, like, I can't even tell you like how happy it made me that I saw. I knew like it wasn't going to be like, this is a tier 1 deck, but every time I've played this deck and I have those slivers in my hand, I'm happy. I'm happy that I get to play with them.
Good.
I love the cards. They're super fun, and the potential is there for them to be a really good deck. They just need to add a couple more cards in there. And Slivers was pretty strong for a while. I mean, it definitely was like, a B class deck. Which in a format where only A and S classes really like thrive, but it was super fun to play, and I love it in Brawl as well. In Historic Brawl, it's super fun.
So what I like about this card the most, and about all the cards here, is that going forward, we have no idea what's going on with Historic, and like adding more slivers is a potential, like Slivers has a potential to be incredibly powerful. And I will say it was Mythwind who also picked this in our Discord as his favorite card.
My boy, right there, Mythwind. That's right, dude. Good call. Yeah, classy man, very intelligent. Good. Good.
All right, relax there. All right, and then finally we have an incredibly cool card picked by an incredibly uncool person. We have Elishnorn, Gran Cenobite. It is. And that is picked by Apollo. Yeah. He picked this, and he picked Coco. And Coco wasn't even fucking printed this year in Historic.
Of course.
Apollo. Dude, we run a Historic podcast, man. Get your shit together. Get together. Put it in a box. Yeah. Put it in the shit store. All right, man? We gotta do it. But no, Elishnorn, cool card.
Great pick.
I do think this is a cool pick. What do you have to say, Hoshi?
Dude, I mean, Elish Norton, like, this is another one, like, you know, besides the first sliver, when we got the Praetors coming in, I was like, because they denied us this. Do you remember that when they came out with
the Black Praetor? Yeah.
When they came out with the set and they just, so we got denied like the Praetors for a while, like, and everyone was saying like, oh, they're too strong or whatever. That's why we why we didn't get them. And then they were like, well, we were just holding on to them because we wanted to charge you more later for them. And then here they are. And I loved when they dropped, because we got that time of Rihanna Praetor being a thing in historic.
Yes.
And it still pops up here and there.
It's
great. It's great.
Me, I made the deck.
Yeah.
I have it. You look at it when this set first released.
Yeah.
I fucking made that Elish Norn Rihanna Praetor deck, and it didn't start. And I'm not kidding. I made that deck. It started popping up like a month later, almost identical deck. It was all me, obviously.
I think it was. It wasn't. It had to be.
It definitely was.
No one else likes this card.
Yeah. No, you're right. All right. Yeah. See, finally, you have some intelligence.
This is like has been a like commander bomb for so long, and it's a big, dumb, crazy monster, which is just great. And you know what? We keep getting Praetors kind of like hinted at in these new sets. If you're following any of the dumb Magic lore, that like there keeps being like this little weird like Praetor stuff. Like we just got Vorinclex like in Kaldheim, so we might be seeing more Praetors again, and I'm excited to see another version of Elish Norn possibly popping up pretty soon. So I love this card. I love its effect. I really like the Praetors in general. So this was a good pick by a surprisingly good pick by Paula.
Well, it's better than Coco, that's for sure. Considering Coco didn't come out this year. That's what I mean.
I love shitting on Apollo, especially when he's not here to defend himself. So, all right. Well, that was the best of 2021, or at least what everyone thought was, the best of 2021 so far. Did you guys agree with those picks? What did you guys think? What was your best thing that you thought like came out this year? Your best non-creature, all of that. Let us know, because maybe we missed something. Maybe the community did. So let's move on to the next step, which is going to be our combat phase.
Dorkish combat.
And combat is our horseshit card game, hosted by DrunkenDork. Take it away.
What is up, everyone? This is the horseshit card game. This is a game where I pick 5 cards. 4 of them are lousy cards from our historic format that you probably have never played unless you drafted. And one of them is another lousy card that you've probably never played unless you drafted.
Okay.
And it's up to this drunken idiot, Hoshi, and all you other people out there to figure out which one of these terrible, awful cards is not in our historic format. So are you ready with all that information, Hoshi?
Yeah, let's do it. I feel good. I won the last one, which is, it's been a while. You've been killing me for a minute there. So let's, hopefully I can keep this streak going. I'm excited. So let's see, what do we got going this time, Drunken?
All right. The first card is going to be Canal Monitor. It is 4 and a black for a creature lizard, and it is a 5/3. The second one is going to be Tajuru Path Warden. It is 4 and a green for a creature, elf, warrior, ally. It has vigilance and trample, and it is a 5/4.
Okay.
The third one is going to be Fire Elemental. It is 3 red for a creature elemental, and it is a 5/4. The fourth one is Thornhide Wolves. It is 4 and a green for a creature wolf, and it is a 4/5. And then finally, we have Charging Rhino. It is 3 green for a creature rhino. Charging Rhino can't be blocked by more than 1 creature, and it is a 4/4.
Ooh, yikes. Okay. So 2 of these I'm pretty sure of right off the bat, which is the Canal Monitor. I'm fairly sure I've seen this guy. I think he's from the desert set, which I can never remember the name of because I have brain damage in that part of my brain, apparently.
Amonkhet.
Yes. Why can I not remember that? And then the...
I'm here for you. You're here for me. It's all right. We got each other.
I know. Together, we have half a brain. And then we have the Tajuru Pathfinder, or Path Warden. That one, I'm pretty sure I played that one too. I might be wrong, but it seems very familiar to me on some type of draft that I've done before. Then Fire Elemental, that looks like a Kaldheim card, or not Kaldheim, the Steampunk one, which once again I am blanking on the name of that set. It seems like that. I could be wrong, and we didn't get all those cards too, so I can also be wrong about that being in our set. The Thornhide Wolves is terrible. I've looked at a lot of wolf cards, so this easily blended in with all the other ones that I wouldn't pick. And then the Charging Rhino seems familiar, but it also looks like something I might have gotten in a commander deck, so I don't know. I don't know about. So these last three, I'm very I don't know. Man, the Charging Rhino just seems like something maybe I've seen before. Damn it. The wolves, I don't know. I think the wolves maybe would have been something I looked over. It might be there. We have a lot of wolves, but that's just the one that I'm going to go with. Because out of those last three, I can't. That's just going to be my best guess, I guess. Man.
Thornhide Wolves.
Yeah, this is a tough one, man. It's pretty good. Okay.
No, it is tough, yeah. Because all these cards are garbage.
Yeah.
I will say Fire Elemental, I think is from Alpha, I'm pretty sure.
Oh shit, really?
That's a card that has been made and remade again.
Okay.
I'm almost positive. Anyway, you are wrong, sir. It was not Thornhide Wolves. What's your second guess? One more guess.
I guess the Rhino. I guess it was,
Rhino. You're right.
Shit.
It is Charging Rhino. Yeah.
Fuck. Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the wolves, there's so many stupid wolf cards that look exactly like that. It's really hard to it's really hard to distinguish them. And there's a bunch of bad
agree
ones.
100%.
That was pretty good. That was a tough one. Yeah, those first two I was pretty solid on those, because the art was pretty distinct on that elf one. And I've had one game of draft where I played that, and it was my star card that was keeping me in the game. So that's the only reason I remember that one. And then the monitor is just kind of distinctive looking, there's not a lot of cards that look like that. The other ones, those are just fucking magic cards. Those all look alike. Pretty good, dude. You got me. Shit. All right, we're back in 1-1 on the
1-1. I like it
on the standard card game. Pretty good. Well, how'd you guys do out there? Did you guys get the Rhino? Shit, I mean the Fire Elemental. Which set was the Fire Elemental from? That one's is kind of bugging me a little bit. What was that? Was that?
So that is from M20, I believe. But it's
really,
that's a card that has been reprinted many times.
Yeah, so that's crazy. It's garbage, but why they keep reprinting?
I'm telling
garbage
you, Beta.
cards?
I believe it's from Beta.
Okay, sure. All right. Well, pretty sweet. And with that, let's move on to main phase 2.
Main phase 2.
And main phase 2 is where we're going over the least favorite cards the least favorite from 2021. The things that we think are toxic, or basically just all of the stuff that we went over of the best of. We're going over the stuff that was the worst out of this last year that we are not thankful for that we had. So let's take a look at the first one that we're having is the most toxic non-creature card of 2021. And Drunken, I think this is going to be unanimous, but take it away.
Yeah, there's one caveat here. So before with the best cards of 2021, we reached out to the community.
Yeah.
The worst cards of 2021. This is the Mana Rant podcast right here.
Okay.
This is just between us. This is me, Hoshi, Apollo, and I think we're pretty spot on though.
Oh,
so
yeah.
2021 most toxic non-creature card, Tybalt's Trickery. I think this card is awful. This card is what like spawned people like actually changing their decks to react to this card in best of one at least.
Oh,
Not best of three, but best of one. What do you think?
Absolutely. This card was, you know what, on those, I don't know if you've ever been to the bug reporting forum on Arena, but there were so many complaints about this card on there, about just how garbage it was. It was destroying everything. And I think this was, with the new rebalancing that they're doing of stuff, I think this was a super easy fix to this card, was just add the word opponent in there. Counter opponent's target spell, bam, card would have been fixed, right? They could have just moved on, and then this card, it wouldn't have been a problem anymore, because that's, I feel like, was the original intent of this card. But no, it just carried on and pissed off people forever, into like what felt like forever, until like this was one of the ones where I felt like they dragged their feet on it for the longest fucking time, and I have no idea why. Like, why did they care about this card? It was awful. Everybody hated it, and then I don't know. It was by far my least favorite card.
It's because they saw a deeper metric, I'm pretty sure, than we didn't see.
Yeah.
And we just unfortunately got the view of the player that the RNG of seeing this card every single game we played.
Yeah, and it almost never whiffed against me. I felt like it was just like the most consistent card ever. But I could see they were probably seeing the metrics of it being like maybe 50-50 or something when it hit. But
well, it whiffs against me all the time. The problem with it is you never played a game of Magic. It was never anything that was fun.
No.
Whether they hit or they whiffed, they either conceded or they won, right?
Yeah,
so it was just
machine.
A boring ass, Yeah. All right, we're over it. I'm over talking about it now. Let's move on.
Okay, great. Yeah, because we've talked about it on this show. All right, the next one is going to be 2021's most toxic creature card. And what do we got for this, Drunken? What's the most toxic creatures?
Okay, so both you and I picked Scurry Oak.
Yeah.
And Apollo picked Valky? Let's start by talking about Scurry Oak.
Okay, yeah.
We can go into Valky in a moment.
Sure.
Hoshi, why did you pick Scurry Oak?
I picked Scurry Oak because it's enabled a very powerful deck, which is not a problem. Powerful decks in Historic are a thing. There's a lot of them. The problem with this one is that it enables so much clicking and time wasting.
Yeah.
The Arena client is not prepared for Scurry Oak. And I feel the same way about the Cauldron Familiar and that, but those are older cards, so they don't fall. I for sure would have picked those if it wasn't this. But Scurry Oak, like you,
Apollo did.
Yeah, I know, but that's because we already talked about it. He's not all there. No. You have to do like 4 or 5 clicks, especially if you have the life gainer that scries. I play this deck and I hate it. I hate that I have to do this much clicking for it. It's a terrible thing, because if we're playing a paper format, I could say, hey, I do this a million times, right? I do this loop a million times. Do you have any interaction where you would go like, stop me at some phase? I'm just going to do that. I'm going to do it a million times. You tell me where you want to do your interaction at, and they would just say, no, you do it a million times, but that is not a thing in Arena. You have to slog through every single trigger, and it just makes it a terrible card for our platform, because the Arena has not caught up on how to handle these combos properly because, they're just too busy pumping more cards into the format and stuff than being able to address these kinds of issues. So I think it is a toxic card just because of that. I play it because it's fun and I like the combo and it's strong, but yeah, man. I mean, when I have to sit there and go,
here's the question then.
Click, 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 click. I'm like, God damn it. I hate myself right now. Yeah.
I have a question then.
Yeah.
So if people challenge you, so for me, example, if people are like, okay, click through your combo.
Sure.
How many creatures do you actually make?
It's usually about 20. I feel like is a standard amount. It's about 20. It depends on my opponent and their board state and their life total, but generally about 20 because I feel like
and what they're playing.
Yeah,
right? Like if they're obviously playing control, you're like, I'll make. Yeah, 20.
Yeah.
I always make 20 regardless, right?
Yeah.
Enough to kill them, whatever their life total is.
Yeah, I usually want to try and one-shot them. And that's really where I like where that Voice of the Blessed has come in because it allows you to one-shot them usually in the air with the amount of so that card really made this deck way better. But yeah, I totally agree with you. After that, I'm usually like, fuck it, I don't care anymore. I'm sick of clicking. I'm sick of this stupid combo and all these clicking and this stupid card. And that I feel like I have to do this. This combo work. It's cool. I like it. I just wish I could say do this 20 times, right? And then just be done with it. But no, Arena refuses to implement something like that. All right, are you ready to talk about fucking Dingleberry's card?
Yeah, I pulled it up on my phone. So Dingleberry picked Valky, God of Lies. And he picked it specifically because the Cascade effect, it changed after this card was printed.
It's true.
And that has nothing to do with historic.
Has
also everything.
True. Yeah.
Has everything to do with modern. And so let's move on.
Okay. If you guys are not aware of what happened with this, it's because Cascade allows you to, play something from a lower mana cost out of your deck. And what happened was when you got to Valky, right, you got to pick which side of him you wanted to put down with Cascade. So, he would trigger off of the 2 because that was the face part of him. But then you were able to put in the 7-part, Planeswalker part of him in, which was obviously busted. So that's why that got changed. So you cannot do that anymore. If you trigger Valky with Cascade now, Valky just comes in. So yes, Valky did have an impact, but like you were saying,
not at all.
Not in our format, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, all right, next.
What's next?
Next, we got 2021's most toxic deck. All right, what deck is the most toxic according to us?
Okay, so the first one is according to Apollo. He said 9 lives combo, and once again, 9 lives did not come out in 2021. Apollo, come on, dude.
M21, yeah.
Yeah. But it says M21. I know. He's like, oh, M21. No, that's not how it works, dude. How long you been playing Magic, dude? You've been playing for a long time. You should know this by now. So I took that as green white enchantress.
Yes.
And
okay. I think what he was really trying to do was make fun of me.
And really that validates me, man. That validates me a lot.
Okay. He was trying to make fun of me, though, is what he was just.
He was, but he took such a poor fucking route to do it. He's like, let me take a left turn. Let me take a left turn again. Wait, I'll take another left turn.
Yeah.
Wait, where was I trying to go? Oh, I was trying to go right. Okay, let me take a left turn.
You know what?
That's Apollo.
I do know where he's going though, because Man, do you get some salty scoops when you get that 9 lives combo in, though. And Sterling Grove has really helped with pulling that out. So
absolutely,
a lot of people think that combo is toxic because it does just lock the game out. And then you're like, okay, hold on for 20 turns until I, I get my win condition here. So some people do think that's toxic. So in a weird backwards ass way, I do see where Apollo was coming from, even though he was just trying to make fun of me. But what do we got next?
All right, after that, we have the real toxic combo here, and that is Throes of Chaos, Tybalt's Trickery.
Yep.
Both Hoshi and I chose this one. We are on even ground here. Hoshi, take it away, dude.
Yeah, I think and Wizards said it themselves. Tybalt's Trickery was a card that we all hated for a long time, but Throes of Chaos was really the one that pushed it over the edge and made it like an actual consistent combo where they were able to turn 3 usually pull this card out. And then not only that, like Throes of Chaos was a real bad card to enter in because it had retrace as well, so you could just discard a land and then cast it again, and then hit Tybalt's Trickery again. So like this card just allowed you to constantly, like before, and it was inconsistent because if it did whiff, they were dead. Like they would just concede. But then Throes of Chaos was the entrance to, like, if they whiffed on Tybalt's Trick, whatever, as long as you didn't kill them the next turn, they got to cast it again. And so it made the deck so much more consistent. It was a little bit slower than the original one, but it was way better. It just was way more consistent, and it wasn't stopped by a misfire. And by the time they had casted it 4 times, there was like 0 chance that they had, whiffed on all of those. It was so rare that happened that finally they decided to, actually ban this toxic ass deck after months of torture being subjected to this.
So basically, Tybalt's Trickery, when it whiffed, it whiffed.
Yeah.
The difference being is when Throes of Chaos entered, is that it didn't just whiff, right? Like, sure, you could. So you would, when you entered a game with Tybalt's Trickery before Throes of Chaos, they mulliganed down until they had Tybalt's Trickery.
Yep.
They had 8 cards to go before they had to mulligan down, right? So they doubled their odds, basically.
Oh, yeah.
Which made this a much more difficult deck to deal with. And not only that, but Throes of Chaos, because of the retrace, like you said, made it recurable. Awful deck.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that this is out of the format. I can't, it's just a frustrating thing to deal with because it made you put cards in your deck. And that's how you really know that a deck is bad for a format.
When you have to sideboard for it, and when it's a weird deck, when it's a weird deck that you have to add cards in for,
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
It's not like just a standard creature deck. You're like, this weird outlier deck that is doing some strange thing in Magic. I find like I have to put, fucking, what was it? The Grafdigger's Cage or something in my deck to stop this fucking stupid thing. Yeah. Ridiculous. All right. Well, thank God that one is gone.
It's gone. It's gone, though.
I know. Just talking about it, I feel my blood pressure rising again. All right. Next, our 4th topic, which is going to be 2021's most toxic set. And this is surprising, I would say. So, Drunken, what is the most toxic set actually to come out of 2021?
Coincidentally, ironically, it is going to be Strixhaven.
Yeah.
The community's most voted set of best set is also the most toxic set.
Absolutely.
And I think, do you want to dive into it first, or do you want me to keep going?
No, keep going. I think you're on a good roll here.
Okay. So, what happened here was this set came out with a lot of cards that made decks have to build around it. And that's really what the problem is with any really good deck. Like we just said about the Throes of Chaos, Tybalt's Trickery deck, is this set had things like Memory Lapse it had Brainstorm, it had the Pact, right?
Yep.
Where the Pact, we had to make decks to build around it.
Oh yeah, it's basically
memory
counter
lapse.
Spells. Yeah, counterspell or you die.
Basically, yeah. Memory lapse. I mean, we couldn't really build around that because it's just a counter spell.
Yeah.
But the Brainstorm, just adding to the Phoenix deck, just, you have to add things that deal with your graveyard, right? So I think this set is probably the most toxic set we will have, along with the extra turn card that came in here, which was awful. We just had so many banned cards out of here.
Absolutely, man. This set was it was bonkers. And I remember specifically when we were doing pods at this time, and we were like, the most played card in Historic right now is Steam Vents. If you are not playing some form of Izzet /
I remember that, yeah.
Some form of Izzet / Jeskai, you are probably losing a fair amount of games right now, And then that, like, out of nowhere, that pack deck came out, and that thing was just like a landslide of just ass kicking until they immediately banned that thing. That was like an emergency ban that they did on that one. Luckily wasn't around for a long. I think thank God, because some tournament went on and it destroyed some tournament. And so they were like, okay, this has to go away at that point. So we weren't subjected to that one very long, but man, a lot of those other cards like Time Warp and Memory Lapse and all those were around and Brainstorm. They felt like they were around for a long time. And those are just such powerful spell cards to just push Izzet into it, like an unbeatable, basically, like, like area of top, the S class of everything. So yeah, I just feel like that. Yeah, it was just deemed too powerful. Like, our format was not ready for this set when it came out, and unfortunately, it resulted in a lot of bans and people wasting wild cards and time on building these decks and stuff. So that is always unfortunate. I always feel bad when people's decks get taken away. So. Yeah, so toxic ass set, a great set, a very powerful set. Some awesome stuff came out of it. Lightning Helix, love that card, but it's a little too much. And let's move on to the last one, and the last thing is going to be 2021's worst things to hit Historic. And now this one is a hard one. We can't just have some kind of card or anything for this. So this one's going to take a little bit more explain. Drunken, what is the worst things to happen to Historic in the last year?
Okay, first, the caveat is this is just from Apollo, me, and Hoshi. Yep. This has nothing to do with the community or anyone else.
Sure.
The worst things to happen to Historic. Why don't we just start off with you? What was the worst thing to happen to Historic this year?
Well, I mean, besides all the Strict Havens bans and all that kind of stuff, I would say that it has just been a very recent thing to happen. And the thing that has most frustrated me is the lack of wild card. So let me start off by saying, I don't think I'm going out on a limb here by saying the economy is pretty brutal in Arena. No one is gonna.
You are not.
Yeah. I'm not ruffling.
Professionals have gone out on a limb.
I'm not ruffling
on a limb.
Yeah, I'm not ruffling any feathers about saying that this is ridiculous. Okay, they need to address this, and they have even mentioned that they need to address the economy. In one of the last streams I watched for the alchemy thing, they said that they need to address this and have a stream where they address the economy, and so hopefully they will soon. But the lack of them giving us wild cards for nerfing cards that are in there is just a giant kick in the balls. Like, them giving us the wild cards back when they ban something at least gives us a little like taste of, okay, at least I got my wild cards back. Sure, my whole deck might be fucking worthless now, and I might have wasted a ton of wild cards building that deck, but at least those cards are still playable or something, I guess, now. But when they nerf a card like Faceless Haven, or Luminous or Luminary or Luminarch or whatever the fuck it is or whatever, they're basically unfucking playable now. Sure, I have that goddamn card, but I'm not going to use it in Historic. It's not good enough to be in that format anymore, and I get diddly shit for it now. I don't get my wild cards back. You know, sure, they can buff cards through this too, but I'm not going to use it. The cards that they buff don't fucking matter to me. None of them are still worth playing, I don't think. So I don't think that is a fair trade. Losing a card completely and then them making a card slightly better that I'm still not going to play doesn't...
Agreed 100%.
Doesn't make it better. I'm bitter about this. I really want, if they're going to if they're going to nerf something to where it's unplayable, they need to at least give us 2 fucking wild cards or something, right? Give us half of it or something. Anything besides just this. No, you don't get fucking anything.
Dude, you're lucky that you're not paying 2 wild cards for them changing the card. All right, this is WotC we're talking about.
I know. God damn. Their board of directors or whatever who's making these monetary decisions for them they're rough, dude. They're rough.
Yeah, they're rough.
And
I couldn't agree more.
They're really hindering people joining the Historic format, which sucks because it's a hard format to join because there's so much that you need to acquire to be in it. And I hear it from our community members too when we're in Discord and they're like, dude, this card, like this deck looks awesome. I want to play it. I just don't know if I want to, save up enough wild cards and stuff to play it because maybe they're like a free to play member, or even if they're not free to play, like, it's still hard. Like both of us still have trouble crafting decks, and we play a lot and we have a pretty extensive libraries, I would say. And it's still difficult for me to make decks sometimes. So I totally get where these people are coming from. And if they want more people to, join this, they need to either give us more handouts or do something. And this last thing it left a very sour taste in my mouth that I really did not appreciate about it. But what about you, Drunken? What was your least favorite thing?
First, I'm gonna go over Apollo's.
Okay.
And Apollo's is rebalancing due to alchemy. And basically, what Apollo is he's conveying here is very similar to yours a little bit, but it has nothing to do with wild cards. It has everything to do with just Wizards of the Coast fucking with our format.
Yeah.
Not needing to, right? Mm-hmm. They didn't fuck with Standard. No. They made this new format and they fucked with Historic. They didn't fuck with Standard. There's no need here. Right? If they're going to change a card, change it for alchemy only. And that's what Apollo is conveying is don't fuck with our format, man. Keep it the same. It's good. And I agree 100%. I agree with what you were saying before, and I agree with him.
Absolutely.
Do you have anything?
Fucking lutely. No. And I think we talked about this when we were talking about alchemy, and I brought it up. I posted links in our Discord of a bunch of complaints that people put on the the forums for the official WotC, where a bunch of people went in there, the bug reports or whatever, but you can also make bitches about the game in there to WotC, and people upvote stuff. And there was a bunch about this exact thing that Apollo's talking about, where they're fucking with Historic because of things that are too strong in alchemy. And I don't like that correlation as well. I don't think it's fair. And a lot of people don't like it. And if you also don't like that, because they still have not addressed this as far as I know, go onto those forums and upvote those posts that people are making. There are hundreds of posts that people have made about this on there, bitching about this. And Apollo in another rare moment of clarity.
That was great. Honestly, you're 100% on the queue. Yep. I like it. Don't fuck with our format, please.
Yeah, crazy.
Unless you're doing a good job. And then finally, my problem with what happened with Historic this year is honestly the lack of communication, which has been the problem from the get-go. Is WotC, please talk to us. Tell us what you're going to do. Be honest about it. Like, before you said, hey, we're bringing this format Pioneer that just doesn't exist anymore. It's sinking in the water, to Arena, and then that is basically what Historic is going to be like, except Historic is going to have these other Historic cards. But then you cancel Pioneer, and we don't know what's happening, and you bring Alchemy, and Historic is just the redheaded stepchild here. Please communicate to us. What are you doing with Historic?
At least we're not Pioneer, I guess, right?
At least we're not Pioneer. I mean, we are a digital only format, so we're always going to be more powerful than Pioneer.
Oh yeah.
But unfortunately for the paper players, like, that sucks, man. And unfortunately for us, that also sucks because they don't tell us what's going on. For all of a sudden, they can make like Shitscape the new fucking format, right? And that takes over Historic.
Yeah.
And like, who knows, right? And we don't know. And just a little bit of insight would go so far.
Dude, you're totally right, man. I mean, I feel like it's at the point where maybe we might have to reach out to somebody at Wizards and see if we can actually get something. So if anyone knows anybody out at Wizards, or how we can get a hold of like somebody in marketing or anything to maybe get like some kind of clarity about where they're going with like our format, because the only glean that we really get is these these conference little things that they have when sets come out, and like they'll do a community like talk afterwards, but I feel like that's it that I'm getting. And then they'll tweet stuff every once in a while or whatever, and I would just like to actually talk to somebody and like have some questions answered. And I feel like they're really dodgy about that kind of stuff. They like getting a lot of questions at the same time, because then they know, like, they can selectively pull questions. And I don't know if they like to talk to people one-on-one, but it would be great to actually talk to somebody. I mean, obviously I'm not like an anti-Wizards hater. I obviously love the game, and I think most people do. It's just, there are a lot of things that we're passionate about the game, and I think that is a huge thing about the community, is most people are super passionate about this game. When you're passionate about something, it's easy to get fucking pissed about it, and you see that leaps and bounds in every single Reddit rant that we have, right? Yeah, people they love it, and they get real pissed when people fuck with something that they love, and this game is that. Like, some people have real deep feelings about this game, and it's nice to understand where they're coming with. And I mean, we run a goddamn podcast about this format, and we don't know what's going to happen to it next week. Like this alchemy thing, which is crazy. This is a new,
please, transparency. That's all I want. Just like the tiniest bit.
Yeah.
If, like, give me a foggy window. Just give me the fucking window. I don't care if it's foggy. Just give me that aspect of it. Fucking Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah, I'm like,
right.
we don't hate Wizards, and you're like, yeah, eat my dick.
No, but we kind of do. I mean, let's be real about it.
It's a real love. Like, it's a real love-hate thing, like.
When you like a format, so Pioneer. Imagine if our podcast was Pioneer-based podcast. We'd absolutely be the only one. We are absolutely the best historic podcast that exists.
Absolutely.
But like, if like historic was Pioneer, we would be the best because we'd be the only, instead of being the best because we're just a couple of drunken idiots. All right, let's move on.
We're like, once again, no Pioneer news. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have nothing to talk about this week. Besides our list of complaints that's ever growing. Actually, that could be an easy podcast to run.
Exactly.
You just complain more and more about all.
No, that would be an incredibly boring podcast. All right, let's move on. Let's get out of here. Let's go. All
right. That was
2021. Here, one question, real quick.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
2021. A through F, American grading scale, historic format. What do you give it?
I gotta give it an A. Because I think we've gotten a lot of great stuff, man. We gotten the jump start, and now we're getting these alchemy cards. Yes, alchemy has fucked up a lot of stuff, and we just talked about how pissed we are about that. But we're getting more cool things injected into the format from it because it's digital. We've gotten more drops. We've gotten moved back further with the last like reverse set that we've got, and we've gotten a bunch of other things. So I feel like we've gotten a lot of love. This has been a hard podcast to keep up with because so much shit has been happening in this format. But so it's got to be an A. I feel like we've gotten more love this year than ever before. So what do you think?
A+.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think it is absolutely the best format to exist in Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
I think that we've gotten more consistent content than any other format besides maybe Commander, probably.
Yeah.
I think it is an A+, and going forward on a 1v1 format, this is where you want to be if Wizards of the Coast consistently keeps this up and is transparent. All right, like fucking tell us what you're gonna do. All right.
Yeah. I feel like they're like drunk in a boardroom somewhere, and they're like, why don't we put this card into Historic? And they're like, yes, bro.
And some guy in the background is like mixing his whiskey with his scotch. It's like, I'm making an alchemist drink, and the guy, it's like, alchemy. That's it. We got to make an alchemy set.
Wait. What do they like in Commander? The Praetors. They like the Praetors. Fuck it. You know what? Let's throw them in there. They'll give us lots of money for it, right? Yeah, that's totally what it feels like. But yeah, it's great. You know what? It keeps things entertaining, and I guess I like that. So, great year, I guess. Great year.
Yeah, good year. Yeah. Good year.
Well, then let's move on to End Step then.
Beautiful words.
I know. Every time it's like music to my ear. End Step's usually where we talk about like what we got going on outside of MTG, just like other nerdy stuff, or like, you know, like pellet grills, whatever we're into, which is so much stuff. What about you, man? You got anything else that we didn't cover in the last one?
I'm gonna plug my wife again.
Okay.
Is that fine?
No, I don't care. Sure. Yeah, Mary.
Okay,
she's
it's a little late. I should have been doing this like November, October.
Sure.
But if you are a man and you're buying something for your wife, or if you are a female and you want something cute, I just farted, by the way.
Yeah, and there went our last female listener.
Yeah. My wife is an artist by trade. She works for a company. Like, she has a 9-to-5. Like, she does it generally or daily. Mm-hmm. She also has a website where you can buy pins, you can buy art pieces, like you can buy all kinds of things. And her website is Hikomary. Mm-hmm. It is HIKOMARY.com.
Nice.
And go over there, buy some cool stuff, man. Like, if you don't personally like it, maybe your significant other would.
I don't see why they wouldn't. She's a great artist. I mean, I've been smoking a lot of stuff recently on the pellet grill. I talked about some stuff. Dude. Yeah. Have you gotten into any good smokes recently? Anything good?
Oh man.
Yeah.
I do have to get off soon, but yeah. Cornbread.
Ooh.
So I did it on a what are those pans called? The ones that you keep the oil.
Cast iron.
Yeah, I did cast iron cornbread.
Yes.
I've done some. I went to the actual butcher.
Yeah.
And
yes.
Yeah. And I bought some ribeyes.
Yeah.
And then coming Christmas, I pre-ordered a prime rib roast.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. That's so great. I just picked up at the commissary the other day a full pig belly, dude. A full giant pig belly, man. And yeah, dude, it's bacon, bro. It's bacon.
Yeah, I know what pork belly is. Yeah.
And so, but it's like it's uncured pork belly. It's just a giant thing. So
yeah. So I've done it before.
Have you? Okay. Have you made bacon?
Yeah.
Have you smoked it and cured it?
I haven't made bacon, but I've smoked an entire pork belly before.
Yeah.
And then I cut it up.
Yeah.
Ramen, dude. If you have some good ramen.
So I think we're gonna try and do the curing salts and then make some bacon and smoke it on there.
I didn't ever do curing salts. That's good. That sounds good.
Yeah, I've been looking into it recently, and there's a whole bunch of, because I heard like the nitrates were terrible for you, but then I found out like nitrates are in like almost like every vegetable, like kale, they're in everything. So people are just freaking out. It's some like ridiculous study and it stops like botulism from happening. Botulism can like kill you. So you know what? Screw it. I'll throw some curing salts in there. I'm fine. Botulism sounds terrible. So I'm convinced after watching many videos about it. I'm like, okay, I've changed my tune on the nitrates.
What you really need to do is brisket, dude.
Oh yeah, I'm down. Yeah, we've got. So this is a Pellet Girl Smoking Podcast now.
All right, no, let's stop. We can talk about this after.
We will, because we will never shut up about it, I guess. But
let's stop.
Anyways, smoking stuff is fucking awesome, and both of us are really into it. Cool. Maybe we'll add a channel on our Discord, a smoking channel, dude.
I like it. Yeah.
People were posting Christmas trees recently, which was fucking great. They look good.
I loved it.
Yeah, they look really good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, let's move into our cleanup phase.
Cleanup.
And cleanup is social media promo. So this is where we're just going to talk about all the ways that you can watch us or hang out with us in some kind of way. If you want to, join our little Dorks community that we have. So we have a YouTube where you can check us out. We have a Discord, which is great with good people in there, and it's going well.
Very cool people.
It's always fun. And then we're on all the podcasts and everything. If you want to check us out on all of those, we have a Aether Hub and
iPods.
iPod Nanos or whatever you want to check us out on. If you want to log in on your
Zoom?
Yeah, your Zoom or your whatever other ancient technology, Telegraph. We're on.
Yeah.
Beep, beep, beep.
Yeah,
beep,
there
beep,
we go. Yeah, we're Morse code. You can find us on all those things. And then, eventually we'll have some kind of Patreon and other things whenever we have time to do that stuff, man. I mean, we're getting there. It's just,
eventually.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, maybe you were talking about your wife doing some stuff. Maybe she can help make some art for the channel. We can cross do it that way or something. We'll figure something out, some kind of stuff, So yeah, with that, I guess we'll just move on to our Discard phase. There it is.
Discard phase. Drink them up, boys.
It took you a while.
So many.
You got there though.
So many buttons. So much bourbon that's gone down. Oh, speaking of which, this is Discard. Where we pound our drinks, and we. This is the second discard of the night for us.
What does my life become? All right.
That is a way deeper question than we have time for.
No, we can answer it.
Yeah.
In one drink.
Oh, that is. Oh man. Oh no. I don't want to look into your eyes that much. That is terrifying. Anyways,
right, let's finish this up.
Yeah. Happy New Year's, everybody. I hope you guys have a great year. I hope 2021 was good for you guys, and we'll see you in 2022 right here on the Man Rant podcast. Cheers, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Hopefully 2022 is a more transparent year for Historic. I don't know where I'm going with this. Oh, yeah.
Well said.
I think I sharded on the last one.
No. If I was a betting man, I would say yes.
You bet that I did?
I would say yes, yeah.
Well, you would have won. Because it's definitely feeling a little wet. Is that swamp ass or is it shark? You never know.
Yeah, I mean,
is
both an answer? I feel like both is probably.
I mean,
what's going on there.
No, it's not an answer. It's either shard or it's swamp ass.
Okay, all right.
It's definitely shard though.
Jesus Christ. Well, at least you're not talking about eating cum, right? What is our discard face? What?